Hey guys, I am here doing this solo. We're going to start trying to do some updates, Anthony, Joe, and I, where if it's a big enough situation that we're covering already, like this Ukraine Russo war, then of course we want to do an update when it's big. So something that you may not know or you may be fully following is that Zelenskyy, Ukraine, they just agreed to a ceasefire 30 days, okay? So what that's going to do, it means nothing until Putin agrees as well. But what that'll do is that will stop all killing, hopefully, if the ceasefire's protected and honored. There'll be no killing for 30 days while they figure out peace deal. So, I mean, that's perfect. That's kind of what we're wanting. But traditionally, if that doesn't work, Russia's always used a ceasefire. If they haven't broken it themselves, they have used a ceasefire to build up their resources and then do a counteroffensive, okay? And as of last night, I believe some Ukrainians got hit with a 3-ton bomb in Kursk. So that's wild. And clearly, if we could say escalation, I don't really like saying that's an escalation. It's war. There's going to be escalation, so. But that would kind of be it. And then they're bombing the absolute mess out of Donetsk. So, you know, that's going to be something that Ukraine's going to have to consider. Obviously, they want Donetsk. They're going to probably bomb it to pieces. What's left of it? I know there's a lot of minerals there. There's all sorts of reasons that I'm sure behind the scenes we don't even know why. Why Russia wants it so bad, and why specifically Luhansk, Donetsk. I get Crimea, that makes sense. So it'd be interesting if behind the scenes the U.S. is kind of working on some sort of shady deal where they bomb the crap out of it and then we split the resources. I hate to think that way. That would be kind of the worst case scenario. Definitely a lot of loss of patriotism if that were to happen. But we'll think the best for now and see things for what they are. Obviously, Russia's not really been a good partner in trust. So if they do use this to their advantage and then they do some sort of counter offensive and then try to peace talk and just keep doing this, you know, like they've done in the past, like the Minsk agreements and stuff, you know, it's really, really hard to tell what they're going to do, which is why it makes them so dangerous sometimes. I mean, traditionally, they can go forever. You know, as long as they have enough war machine in the background going, which this would be perfect for, to replenish their stuff, then of course they can continue indefinitely, regardless of probably sanctions at this point. But let's hope that they actually do want peace, and that the concessions are very reasonable. Obviously, Russia has pushed this themselves. They were the aggressor. They invaded. I believe that there should be no concessions. You leave and we get the property back. That's just, you know, someone comes and invades your home. They don't get a part of it when it's over. But at the same time, that's just not how things have ever worked historically. You know, we've invaded all sorts of countries and we've kept air bases there, or even how America started to begin with. So we can't really be too picky here. But hopefully there is some sort of concession that makes sense and would be accepted by the Ukrainian populace. They're getting tired. They never thought this war would continue this far on either side. Russia thought they'd have it in a few days. And Ukraine probably thought that this would have been done a year or two ago. And it's not. And they have paid the ultimate sacrifice. So this is just a quick update. I believe Marco Rubio is the one to thank for this, of course, through Trump's diplomacy, but he chose Marco Rubio to go over to the United Emirates. Thank you to the prince out there. I'm not going to get into what he has done to reporters in the past, but I'm not a huge fan of the guy. I can't trust him. And I don't want to end up in pieces, so he's good in my book at this point. But, you know, at least they facilitated this peace, right? And I'm hoping, again, this is absolutely nothing until Russia agrees. But once Russia agrees, and if they do, in good faith, right, then we could be looking at the end. Just the finish line. So Hopefully, again, as a summary, I hope that the concessions are reasonable, and that's all we can do. And that Russia is honorable and just shows for some point of time, even if it's just 5 years, that they are going to be permanent on what they say. Because traditionally, they flip-flop pretty hardcore. So let's see. Maybe this is a new chapter. Maybe things are coming to a close. They could just be popping off. I mean, when Trump said that you're kind of toying with World War III to Zelenskyy in the Oval Office when things got very heated and contentious, that's the first time I've heard someone say it, and I actually really believed it. So I think there's something to it. I think there is the hope of peace on the horizon, right? So anyway, it was great speaking to you all, and I'll see you soon. I'll be leaving here very shortly. This is the Paradise Real in Punta Cana. You can say that word really wrong and it'd be weird in another language, but otherwise we're all good here. Thank you all for tuning in. This is the first, I did a live a minute ago. This is our first little short landscape update. And you can see Anthony and Joe probably doing this every now and then when there's appropriate timing and we don't have everything set up or just can't meet. I mean, getting 3 grown men to meet at the same time sometimes is hard. I mean, we all have families and lives, and we'd love to be able to just jump over to the studio. So hopefully you also like our new studio. We're working on it even later today. We'll see you on the next one.